The desert, a place where time slows down, where silence speaks louder than words. It's a world of endless horizons, where the wind carries secrets older than any city, and the sun doesn't just shine, it dominates. Out here, nothing comes easy. The land doesn't forgive, and yet it calls to the bold. And in the middle of this raw, untamed beauty, something extraordinary rises. A home unlike any other. Not a castle in the sand, not a mirage, but a living, breathing testament to vision. A modern Barndominium that dares to exist where most would never dream. It doesn't shout for attention. It doesn't need to. Its presence is quiet, but powerful. Steel bones rooted in the earth, walls that shimmer like the heat waves around them, and windows that don't just look out at the desert, they become part of it. This home doesn't fight the land. It flows with it. But what if I told you this isn't just a house? It's a statement, a symbol of what happens when human ingenuity meets the raw poetry of nature. It's more than architecture. It's a conversation, a delicate balance between strength and serenity, between survival and beauty. And its story? Well, it's just as wild as the land it stands on. Because this Barndominium wasn't built to escape the desert. It was built to embrace it, to live with the heat, to dance with the wind, to let the stars pour into every room at night. Every beam, every line, every shadow has a purpose, a reason. It's modern, yes, but it carries whispers of the past. The rugged simplicity of Barnes reborn as something sleek, bold, and unafraid. So, are you ready to step inside? To see how this dream took shape, how it bends the rules of design and redefines what a home can be when the desert becomes not an enemy, but an ally? Stay with me, because this is where the story truly begins. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it's a simple way to show your love for these incredible designs. To understand this masterpiece, you have to feel the land first. Dry, raw, untouched. A place where the earth cracks beneath your feet, where the air hums with heat, and the silence is almost alive. The desert doesn't forgive. It doesn't bend to your will. It stands there, ancient and unshaken, daring you to exist within it. And yet someone did. Someone dared to dream here. Not with a house that hides from the sun, or a structure that fights against the wind. No, this is different. This is a home that looks the desert in the eye and says, I belong. A home that doesn't conquer the landscape, but becomes part of it. Rooted like a desert tree, standing proud, standing strong. This is the story of a design that marries resilience with elegance. A desert modern Barndominium, where rustic bones meet sleek sophistication. Where the rugged spirit of old barns, born from necessity, collides with the clean lines and bold vision of modern design. It's a union that feels impossible. And yet, here it is. Strong steel frames rising from the sand, not as an intruder, but as if the earth itself shaped them. Warm, weathered materials that echo the tones of the land. Terracotta reds, deep browns, soft shadows stretching as the sun dips low. Inside, the story continues. Open spaces that breathe with the desert winds, glass walls that frame the horizon like a living painting. Every detail is deliberate. Every choice, a balance between beauty and survival. Because out here, design isn't just style, it's strategy. This is not a place for the faint-hearted. It's a place for dreamers who see beyond the barren, who hear the quiet promise in the stillness. A promise that says, even in the harshest places, life and beauty can thrive. And this Barndominium? It's proof of that promise. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. Every good home begins as a whisper, not a shout, not a grand idea crashing in, but a quiet thought that lingers in the mind, waiting to grow. For the architect, that whisper came one evening, as the desert winds howled outside his studio window. He imagined something more than shelter. He imagined a statement, a structure that would stand strong, yet belong to the sand. Bold enough to face the sun, soft enough to blend with the stars. Why a Barndominium? Because barns have always been symbols of resilience. Honest, functional, enduring, built to withstand storms, to serve without vanity. And yet, here was the challenge. Could that rugged spirit transform into something modern, something elegant, without losing its soul? He saw it in his mind, steel bones rising from the earth like an echo of the desert itself. Walls wide and fearless, yet graceful. Glass panels stretching open, pulling the horizon inside. A design that didn't fight the desert, but partnered with it, reflecting its colors, its textures, its moods. The palette would be earthy, drawn from the land itself. Deep rust, muted sand, sunburnt terracotta. Materials that wouldn't fade into weakness, but age with pride. This wasn't just about building a home. It was about creating harmony, a conversation between nature and design. But the desert doesn't surrender easily. Heat that can crush you. Winds that carry storms like ancient armies. Isolation that can make even the strongest feel small. These weren't obstacles. They were the rules of the game. And every decision, every line on the page had to respect those rules. That was the vision. A home that could endure the unforgiving, yet offer warmth. A space that celebrated simplicity, but whispered luxury in every detail. Not a fortress, not a retreat, but a living, breathing dream, rooted in reality, and shaped by the raw beauty of the desert. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. At first glance, it's simple. Clean lines, monolithic forms. Nothing shouting for attention, nothing trying too hard. But look closer, and you'll see poetry in every detail. This is where minimalism meets purpose. Every inch of this Barndominium was crafted to speak the language of the desert. Quiet, confident, timeless. The exterior tells the first chapter. Weathered steel siding, strong yet elegant, holding its ground against the desert wind. It doesn't hide from the sun. It wears its warmth proudly, aging into deeper tones with every passing season. A low-profile roof that almost disappears into the horizon, yet hides a secret strength, solar integration, drinking in the sun's fire and turning it into life. Step inside, and the space unfolds like a breath. Wide, open, weightless. Panoramic windows stretch across the walls, framing the dunes like moving art. The desert isn't outside anymore. It's part of the home, spilling in with light and shadow. This isn't designed for design's sake. It's design that feels inevitable, like it was always meant to be here. The colors whisper the story of the land. Terracotta reds, sun-baked sands, deep charcoals echoing the desert nights. No bright distractions, no loud interruptions, just a palette drawn from nature's own brush. And then there's sustainability, not as an afterthought, but as the backbone of the design. Rainwater harvesting, quietly working beneath the surface. Passive cooling techniques that let the home breathe instead of battle. It's a house that doesn't just stand in the desert. It survives with it, thrives with it. But here's the thing. Can something this modern, this sleek, still feel like home? Can steel and glass cradle warmth? Can open spaces hold intimacy? That's the question. And the answer is waiting in the next breath of this story. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos. And let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. Step inside, and you'll feel it. That strange magic where emptiness feels full, where silence doesn't echo, it soothes. Walls of glass dissolve the line between what's inside and what's beyond. The living room isn't just a room. It's a front row seat to infinity. The horizon stretches like a promise. The dunes move like waves frozen in time. And every sunset feels like the first and the last. This space is vast, airy, but never cold. Natural textures ground it. Soft linens, warm woods, and the quiet strength of steel. Nothing here screams for attention. Everything whispers calm. The furniture doesn't dominate. It belongs, like stones on a riverbed. And as the light shifts, so does the room. Golden in the morning, amber by dusk, silver beneath the stars. Then, the kitchen, a minimalist chef's dream. Clean lines, seamless counters, and appliances tucked away like secrets. It's not about showing off. It's about letting the ritual of cooking feel effortless, meditative. Every meal here becomes an experience. Every coffee a moment to pause and watch the desert breathe. And then, the bedroom, a sanctuary. No walls cluttering the view. Just glass, sky, and silence. You wake to the blush of dawn spilling across the dunes. At night, you fall asleep under a ceiling of stars, so close it feels like they might slip through the glass and rest beside you. It's intimacy without confinement, luxury without excess. But this isn't just a home. It's a conversation with the desert itself, a dialogue between human and horizon, between design and nature. Every corner speaks of balance, of restraint, of knowing that beauty isn't in what you add, but in what you let remain untouched. And as you stand there, in the quiet glow of sunset, one thought lingers.